Hi, so let's start with the course. Our first topics will be constants and variables. So this is like really basic stuff. Constants, this basically is nothing different than like a sophisticated calculator. I'm saying sophisticated because you have not only numbers but also some other kinds of constants which we will hear about later. But variables, this allows us to do a little bit more than on a calculator. So this is the stuff we will start with. First of all, I want to tell you I will be considering like showing you in this video some basic stuff about Colab notebooks, but I kind of assume that you have seen some tutorial about Google Colaboratory or something like that, but you don't explicitly need it because I will be explaining like basic stuff along the videos. So first thing you need to know about notebooks is that they are they contain two kinds of cells. Basically, a cell is something like this or something like this. Some cells are they just contain text. These are called markdown cells because this is this is the tool you use to create these cells, markdown language. But basically, they contain text, and these cells explain to you what is going on in the notebook. And you have also second type of cells, and these cells are cells with code. So these cells you can execute, and we can see it here. I guess you can imagine what will happen here. We have 3 plus 4, so as a result you should get 7. As you can see, since this was the first cell I wanted to run, I had like some small window which gave me information whether I'm sure I want to run this notebook, and then there was some time when there was connection to the server and so on and so on. This happens only at the beginning. Then you are connected to the server, and you can execute code whenever you want. So basically, these are two kinds of cells you have in a notebook, and most of the things will be happening in the code cells. So these are the cells where the programming happens. The text cells are here just to explain to you what is going on. So constants. Constants, as I already said, they have very similar behavior as in calculators. Basically, you have things which always have the same meaning. So if you see a number 3, which looks like a number 3 we see in everyday life, it will always be a number 3. You cannot change this. You cannot force Python to interpret this symbol as number 5. So, and you have many constants like this. The best example is our numbers, but there are also other kinds of constants. And when you have constants, you also have operators which can act on them. And again, we will use numbers as an example. For numbers, you have multiple algebraic operators, arithmetical operators, with which you can perform calculations on numbers. And you have all of the operators which you would expect from basic mathematics. You have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo operator. If you don't know what is a modulo operator, I will show you in a minute, and explanation. So addition we have already seen, 3 plus 4 equals 7. Subtraction and multiplication, division, I assume you already know what are these operations. Operation modulo computes like what is left from the number when we divide it by another number. So I can show it to you, and here you can learn something new about Colab notebooks. You can add code or text cells to the notebook you are either creating or editing or viewing. So basically, if I'm at the split of the cells, I can see two buttons, and I can add here a code cell, and then an empty code cell is created where I can write any code I want. So let's see how operation modulo works. So let's see what is 11 modulo 5. So the result should be 1, and it is indeed 1. So why it should be 1? Because when I divide 11 by 5, I don't get an exact number. There are two 5s which I can put into 11, so 5 plus 5 equals 10, and then I'm left with 1. So this 1 is the result of modulo operation between 11 and 5. If I use 13, the result should be 13. Explanation, I assume you already know what explanation is. So so these are like the basic operations. Of course, you have ability to add some other arithmetic and other even more sophisticated math operation in Python, but we will learn about it later. One last thing you should know about constants and operation on constants is that you can combine them. So as you can see here, I have a cell with code where I have multiplication, subtraction, addition, exponentiation, and division, right? And of course, Python performs these operations in an order which is natural also for us. So if we have brackets, then the operation in brackets is performed first. If we have multiplication, then there is, if you have exponentiation, then exponentiation is first, then division and multiplication going from left to right, and addition and subtraction at the end. You can check that this result is correct. You can either do it by hand or use a calculator of your own, and then you will see that this result is correct. But the most important thing about constant you should remember is that constants don't like ever change. So number 4 is always number 4, number 12 is always number 12, and so on and so on. And in the next video, it will get more clear what I mean that something doesn't change, because we will learn about variables which can actually change, and this is their main purpose, to have this ability that we can store something in some box, but we can change what is inside this box. So that's all about constants, and let's see you in the next video when we will talk about variables.